You know, we're way past the point where AI is just about making fun, weird images. We're now in an era where AI is engineering entirely new business models, especially in the world of luxury advertising. We're talking about moving away from one-off campaigns and building permanent AI-driven brand ambassadors that a company can own forever.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the old way of doing things, the traditional luxury model, and see why it's so ready for a shakeup. Then we'll dive into how innovators like Noir Starr are building these digital people, look at the insane new economics behind it, and wrap up with what this means for the future of creative work. All right, let's start by setting the scene. For decades, a luxury ad campaign has been this massive, complicated beast. It's a world of huge budgets, crazy logistics, and just a ton of complexity. To even get in the door for a traditional luxury campaign, you're looking at a starting price of $15,000. And I gotta stress, that is the minimum. That's the floor. Depending on the talent, the location, that number can skyrocket fast. So why so expensive? Well, it's not just one thing. It's the cost of solving this huge logistical nightmare. You're looking at a month, maybe 6 weeks, of juggling crazy schedules, paying talent and agency fees, flying people around, scouting locations. And here's the real kicker. After all that work, you only get to use the photos for about a year before the rights expire. Then you have to do the whole thing all over again.
So what if you could just skip that whole puzzle? This is where companies like Noir Starr are coming in with a completely different philosophy. It's really about re-engineering the whole idea of what a brand representative even is.
This quote from the AI production house, Noir Starr Models, it just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures this massive shift in thinking. You're not just making a temporary transaction anymore, you're making a permanent investment. And this really breaks it down. The old way? You're renting a person's time. You're limited by their schedule and your rights eventually run out. The new model? You're creating a permanent digital asset. It's always available, you can use it forever, and, most importantly, you own it. It's your intellectual property.
Now, this all sounds pretty amazing in theory, right? But how in the world is it actually done? How do you create a digital person that doesn't just look real, but stays looking like the same person across 100 different photos and videos?
Well, it all starts with this idea of a bespoke digital ambassador. This isn't about typing attractive model into an AI generator. No, this is about engineering a character from the ground up, using the brand's unique DNA, their style guides, their voice, their values, to build an exclusive digital face for the company.
But here's the big technical problem. If you've ever played around with AI video tools, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Keeping a character looking consistent is so hard. The moment they turn their head or start to move, the AI has to kind of guess what they look like now, and you get all this weird flickering and morphing. It completely shatters the illusion.
So to get around this, a team like Noir Starr has built something brilliant. They don't just use one AI tool. They've created a multi-engine workflow that basically acts like a digital film crew. They have one AI engine that's a specialist in body motion and how fabric moves. Another one is like a director, focused only on getting the facial expressions and emotions just right. And a third is like a lighting technician, making sure the light hits those luxury watches and handbags perfectly. It's a team of specialists, not one generalist trying to do it all.
And this super sophisticated process doesn't just solve a creative problem. Oh no, it completely rewrites the financial rulebook for these brands. Let's just look at the numbers.
I mean, just look at this. The contrast is staggering. A traditional campaign starts at 15 grand and takes 4 to 6 weeks. The digital version, as little as $1,500, and it's done in a day or two. Entire budget lines for things like travel and location fees, they just disappear. Poof, gone.
But honestly, the real value here isn't just about saving money. It's about what you own at the end. You go from having a fixed one-and-done campaign to an asset that you can adapt forever. So you want to put your ambassador in Paris for a winter ad tomorrow, and then on a beach in Miami the day after? You can do it, instantly, with zero new logistical costs.
This chart really drives the point home. Look at where the money goes in a typical campaign. More than half the budget can get eaten up by logistics, stuff that has nothing to do with the final creative product. This new AI workflow just wipes all that waste off the map, so your entire investment goes into the asset that you own forever.
So what does this all mean for the future of being a creative professional? Well, this isn't just one company's cool new method. This is starting to look like a whole new blueprint for how ambitious, creative work is going to get made from now on.
It seems like the most powerful approach is going to be a hybrid one. It's about blending that traditional human craft of filmmaking with these powerful new AI tools. This isn't about just typing a prompt and hoping for the best. It's about story first, and then using custom-trained AIs, these things called LoRAs, which are basically mini style guides for the AI, to make sure every single frame is perfectly on brand. But at the end of the day, you still need that human touch, that human expertise, for the final direction and polish.
And that really gets to the core of it all. AI is here to enhance human creativity, not replace it. It's about giving creators these incredible new tools to build worlds and tell stories with a speed and a level of control that was just unimaginable before.
And all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating, maybe even a little bit of a mind-bending question. When AI can literally engineer the perfect, always-on brand ambassador from scratch, what does our idea of authenticity or realness in advertising even mean anymore? It's definitely something to think about as this tech keeps shaping everything we see.